My truck bed cover has these hinges on both sides that allow the cover to fully close, but they were both broken. So I 3D printed these replacement pieces. I learned something unexpected about designing parts along the way, and I'm going to show you. As I mentioned, my truck bed cover folds using these hinges, but as you can see, mine broke on both sides. It was still usable, but if the broken pieces didn't line up correctly, the cover wouldn't close all the way. It was also causing some extra wear on the cover. I was able to find a part number on the broken piece and found an STL file on Thingiverse. Shout out to all the people who create and upload parts like this. It's really underappreciated, so this is a big thank you. I started to print the part in PETG since that's the most durable material I have and that my printer can handle. But if your printer can handle nylon or a better outdoor material, then I would recommend that. But I have an original Ender 3, so I can't really handle that. PLA would be too brittle for this application and wouldn't hold up well with any water or sun exposure. Meanwhile, PETG isn't ideal, but I think it will work okay, and I can always print more replacement parts. I printed this with 100% infill and 5 walls. I first printed this piece in this vertical orientation, meaning the layer lines would be going horizontally, and this proved to either be a mistake or genius, and I really haven't decided which yet. And you'll see exactly why in a second. The old broken pieces are removed and the new ones are installed, and I repeated this on the other side, and I gave it my first test. It seemed to work perfectly. But upon closer inspection, when I looked at the piece when the cover was closed, I noticed that my print was completely deformed. It seems the outer walls never adhere to each other and are delaminated, but not along the layer lines, but along the walls. I have a degree in mechanical engineering, so the fact that this piece was failing but also working was really interesting to me. I took a look at the video slowed down and analyzed it. When you look close, when the cover is closing, there is a compressive force on the hinge piece in this diagonal line. You can see exactly how that force caused the original part to break. The break is right along that force line. It also doesn't help that there is a sharp inside corner, which is called a stress concentrator. But my replacement part doesn't look too stressed. So I'm going to keep these hinges on the car until they break, which they might over time, or if water starts to seep in, especially in the winter. If that water freezes, this is probably going to break. So in case that happens, I printed these backups, and these were printed this way as opposed to this way. So the walls are not going to separate like the wall separated on that one. And that might be for better or for worse. So we'll have to find out once these ones break. This project ended up being actually a really good reminder for me about designing parts and making parts that can flex with the stress as opposed to staying rigid and then just snapping all at once. There's probably a life lesson somewhere in there, but I'll let you think about that one. You think they should like, comment, and subscribe?